60s, and I always wore a Spanish hat
Mm-hmm.
and a Victorian coat and colorful bell bottoms. And I'd come down from my bedroom all dressed, and there was an oval mirror in the living room outside the store. To come downstairs, there was this mirror, and I'd look in the mirror, and I'd sit there like this and tip the hat. Usually I ended up with it squared away because that was the least vague thing, you know. But there were times when I put the hat on and I looked in the mirror and I couldn't fill the hat. You know, I couldn't be responsible for what the person under that hat usually did when it went out. It represented, like I was saying before, you get into a certain place where that's just who you are. And
Tell me about the
tie
stick. Tie stick.
Yeah.
Oh, the tie stick story?
Tell us about the tie stick.
Yes.
Anyway, with a little opium pipe, what I wanted to show you was, if I can turn this over without spilling it. Anything in it?
I don't see anything.
Good. All right, you see that thing? Oh,
What?
it's hard to see it. Hard to see the figure. But maybe you can make it out. Yeah, you can if you really.
Oh, careful.
No, okay, so it's not. So now, if you look at this figure, can you see that the face and the body?
Yeah.
And he's got a hookah in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a little on the. I'll have to show you something else with that picture. And there's a little, like a cobra snake coming out of the pipe, but there's no head on it. It's just a smoke thing coming out of the pipe. Well, the tie stick is like that. When you put it in the opium pipe and you light it, there's a little 1/4 inch piece of that. And when you light it, you just get this little snake of smoke going up. And it gets about this high out of the pipe, and then you suck it back down and you swallow the snake.
Oh.
And you get instantly into clear light. Instantaneously. I mean, there's sometimes when you're getting stoned and you gradually get into a certain kind of place, but it's not an all of a sudden instant changeover. And I'd say it's the closest you get into your third eye.
Oh.
I think that may be true. And that in fact what you're doing is every day you wake up being that person or that family of people that are making music. That's all you get. I thought that was going to be forever like that. I mean, at least not necessarily in the world, but at least from that family and my family and what I was doing. I would have liked to stay in that space, but I can only assume that I think that they succumbed to the need This is because they had to be providers. They had old ladies and some kids.
Who did?
And so it disbanded behind, the family was 34 people, musicians and kids and old ladies. We didn't have any cats or dogs. We lived in a little house.
Wow.
So, it was an amazing thing. little house on Hill Street. The front of it,
Where? Where was this?
in San Francisco, on the top of Castro Hill.
Okay.
And the whole front of the house, I guess, was about 20 feet wide. That's about the width of this room. And say that this was when you came in the door, and there was a flight of stairs. Just as you came in the door, there was a flight of stairs that went upstairs. There was only about this much space from the front door to the flight of stairs. And the staircase was so narrow that when you went up the stairs and somebody was coming toward you, you turned sideways.
Jeez.
That's how narrow it was.
Wow.
I don't know that too many of them I don't think that they had I don't know, I guess I must have shared the tie stick with them at some point. But
I love
it
the
was
name.
sort of one of my
tie stick, yeah, I like it.
was
It's
kind of
cool.
my own private thing, you know.
Yeah.
The tie stick. And it was sent to me, and I shared all of that. And we used to get what we call phone books in a cellophane wrapper with a ribbon of Michoacan that was a kilo, 2.2 pounds, this big, and a lot of seeds. But that was part of the trip, was I sitting in the studio with a box from the roll of quarter-inch tape, and or even no half-inch tape, quarters with a half-inch, it's about this high, and I'm just sifting seeds out of wheat all day, and then I had to walk there. I was going to walk, steel walk, and it was always full of wheat.
Dang.
Wow.
And just and different kinds would come in, and cash, and playing music all day long, and going out sometimes during the week at night and playing, but certainly on the weekends going out and playing. And going out to the park on Sunday, sometimes Saturday, but especially on Sunday, we go to the Shell in San Francisco. You ever been there?
No, we're going to go to
band
San
show and
Francisco
Park.
this week, though. We're heading
We
up
go
there.
there, no permits, nothing. And we ride with a bus.
Does it still
a load of
exist?
musicians, a load of equipment, and we set up on that stage, beautiful, the Shell. And there's all these seats out there, and a grove of trees that go up along the sides and over the top. It's very nice. And we would go there and play, and people would wander in and sit down on benches, and first there'd be like 5 or 6 people, and then got to be like 30, 40 people. But rarely did we never promoted it. So it's only those superheads, that are really, it's like a church where a certain element goes to that particular church. And that's what it was. It was really a very religious experience. Wherever we went, we just heard music. And everybody was okay. Nobody was getting uptight about anything. There was some traumatic moments. I'm going to call them traumatic. But there was some experiences where there was a lot of emotion. We never can say that we know how it is with everybody in the family. Everybody has individual feelings and thoughts as close as we may be. We don't think alike. So we walk alike, we talk alike, as well as more. We hate each other very much. We hate our folks, and whether or not it is who tell us apart. Well, one of us gets the measles. This is twins, by the way. What I'm saying is twins.
Oh.
One of us gets the measles, the other one gets the measles. Look, Mom's not hot. Mother thinks that we were bored and let us more. She didn't want to have us, and we didn't want to have her. It's part of a musical.
Oh.
It's called Twins from a musical with Oscar Levant. The 3 characters, they put on these things where they're walking on their knees, so they look like kids. They look like little dolls.
Yeah.
routine.
I haven't seen it.
But it's kind of like that. You think through all the times that I've met over this house with people who I've known from back then.
Yeah, that's great.
I haven't really gotten into that sort of expression with anybody lately, but in the past, it happened sufficient number of times that I guess I really kind of avoided getting into subject matter. Well, I'm sure what was happening, I think, and then I'm talking to people that were there at the same time that I was in the same room, smoking the same dope. And they had a different idea of what that day was about than what I thought it was about.
Wow.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Living together, being together, sharing together, expressing feelings together, and not thinking the same thing in conclusion. I can't conclude what the other guys think I was ever going to think. I have no way to know. Change of mind, change of heart. I said to this woman who wanted to buy the house next door, I said, you know, all is wonderful, and I'm sure that you love to ride your bike and you like the horses and going to share the arena and all that's going to be great. I said, but there is also a thing that people change because other things happen in their lives. I said, should you get married, your husband might have a totally different view of what's going on than what you wanted. So you always have to be ready for that.
Mhm.
Not ready for it necessarily.
Totally.
I don't mean on guard for it. You have to expect it.
Mhm.
You have to expect that people change. Look, when I met you, that was like a whole other movie. You know,
Mhm.
in our house.
Yeah,
with
it was a
guys.
totally different life.
Yeah. And, you know, do you know how I met your father?
You were gonna buy his sailboat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great little boat.
I know, I love that boat.
Really.
We had a lot of fun.
But it's too bad because I should have
Sailing.
bought it, then you'd still
will-
have it. No, really, you would
That's
have it. You'd be able to go to Olympia.
I
Because the
loved
boat that I
going
had
sailing.
there,
It was it was like one of
I
my
bought a
favorite
much funky boat.
memories.
That boat was
of my
clean.
life.
That boat was
I could have
pristine.
lived on that boat.
Well, it was a little small for me
I
to live
know.
on it because I have to
I
walk.
could have
I have to
though.
walk
Like
around.
in the
I need
summer.
a boat where I can walk around. I've lived on boats.
Yeah.
Nothing
I'm
small.
sure you have.
Well, I used to sleep on my double ender, which was like about a 32-footer, but it wasn't rigged up. It was a different kind of boat, mobile work boat. And we built it. It was a burned out hull, and I brought it back to being a boat. Rebuilt the whole thing, about 32. But then the last boat that we enjoyed was a Hatteras. And the Hatteras is 48-foot twin and diesel